captain, England captain. Please put your hands together for the man with the best nickname in all of football. It is the captain, leader, legend. It's Mr. John Terry.
I think Lamps is our best ever player for me. And I think longevity, goals, season after season after season, Lamps is by far the best for me. In terms of pure ability, Hazard goes top of that. He come in asking for the 26 shirt as well, by the way. So we told him where to go with that one straight away. Didier would often walk about in his shorts, his boots, ready to go, but with his top off. He'd walk around like just pumping his chest and giving these big kind of speeches. And it was really inspiring to watch him going, we're on today, and the big man's right up for this as well. And very shortly after that, we brought Cobham, and he turned it into what it is today, giving us opportunities like that to perform on the best pitches, the best facilities, the best staff. One of the nicest people you could ever meet in your life. I think it's disgusting what's happened to him. I really do. He's addressing the players, and at Liverpool, we do this and we done this, and this is how we done things and blah, blah. And I'm sitting there going, Liverpool won fuck all. We've been dominating Premier Leagues. The last thing I want to hear about is Liverpool. To me, I know how much this competition meant to the football club. We are the underdogs massively. We're playing at Bayern Munich Stadium. Everything was against us.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this man played for your beloved Chelsea Football Club for 11 years. 2 Premier League titles, 4 FA Cups, 2 League Cups, a Champions League, a Europa League. He is also champion of Africa with his beloved Nigeria. He's got his name on the podcast. Please give it up for the one and only John Obi Mikel. Standing ovation for this man. Soak it in, John.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Soak it in. John Obi Mikel, that's your adoring public.
Yep, I know. I mean, amazing fans. I always say Chelsea fans, for me, I think they're the best fans in the world. So, yeah, definitely, yeah.
First things first, John, you were back at the bridge on Saturday. How was that experience?
Legs still sore, back still sore, everything is hurting, but yeah. It was a great game, obviously. We hate losing against Liverpool, but when you play games like that for a good cause, it was for a good cause, good charity cause, and we were there. It's good to see the old boys back, the whole team back. It's good to see that Diego Costa is still feisty, still wants to win, so... But it's a shame, obviously. We don't like losing against Liverpool, but we lost the game. I know it's a charity game, it's for a good cause, but we absolutely hate losing against Liverpool. But our team, when you look at the players, we've got the likes of Solomon Kalou. He can't move anymore because he's eating way too much of his chocolate, you know what I mean? Eden Hazard with his belly, he can't run. So, I mean, what do you expect? But it was a good game, it was fun, it's good to see the guys. JT still looks fit, he still wants to play. So, there's few guys there, it was a great game, and it was for a good cause.
It was a great cause. Shame about the result. But Chelsea Football Club, John, 11 years of your life.
Part of the furniture, mate.
You are.
Yeah.
You are. I mean, the best 11 years of your life, that goes without saying. When you reflect on it now, the years and the players and the managers that you played under, what's your highlight? What's the standout?
Lots of great players, great managers. I was so lucky, obviously, when you sign for a club like Chelsea, at a very young age, at the age of 18, walking into that dressing room and you look around and you see the likes of, obviously, John Terry, Frank Lampard, Didier Drogba, Makalele, Jermaine Jeter. These are the players that I watched growing up. And to be able to share the dressing room with those guys was absolutely brilliant. And straight away, they make you know what the culture of the football club means. It's all about winning, you join the football club, you don't have time to try to say, okay, I need time to get used to stuff. No, back then it was about winning. It was about, the culture was about winning because Mourinho wanted to win, the owner wanted to win. So you didn't have time. I remember when I came into the football club, I was struggling a little bit and Mourinho was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to have to deal with this kid. So I showed up a couple of times late, and he had to send me back to the reserve team. For about a month, I had to train with the reserve team. And that just showed me what the football club meant. I have to learn pretty quickly. I have to adapt pretty quickly. And that's exactly what I did. And the rest was history.
And of course, the man's shirt is behind you. John Terry, Mr. Chelsea, as you've called him many times on this podcast. He epitomizes everything that makes this football club what it is. What was he like with you in the first few weeks settling into that football club?
He was great, obviously. JT was great. I mean, when you come into the football club and straight away he'll shake your hand, he'll welcome you, but straight away he'll let you know what you're walking into. And it's great to see that. And that starts from, the dressing room, the training, the intensity he sets in training. You know what I mean? You don't come to Chelsea. You have to apply yourself properly around the place, around the training ground, around the dressing room. Most importantly as well, in training, because he trains like never before. He's tackling, he's jumping, he wants to win everything, 5 aside, 2 aside. It doesn't matter what you play with JT. Darts, he wants to win. He's so competitive, he's crazy. And he just robs up everybody. Even the game we played the other day, the Legends game. I remember we walked into the dressing room in the first half, and I remember I screamed at him there was a ball that came to him and it would have kept chested. And I was like, just keep it. And it was like, fuck off. You should have told me not to do that. You should have told me to keep the ball. I was like, yeah, but, you should learn. But it's just the way we challenged each other, the way we wanted to win. For us, it was just the winning mentality. We have to win at all costs. And that was from Jose Mourinho. And that was just the winning mentality that he installed in each and every one of us.
Be honest with us, John. Before we welcome Mr. Chelsea onto the stage, did you and him ever...
Yeah, a couple of times. He's grabbed me by the neck.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Probably if I let my run behind me, or if I let like a corner kick and I let my man get a header. And then he comes to you, it's like straight away, he gives you that. It's like, you need to wake up, man. You need to wake up. So he was always there. He's always there, screaming and shouting. But you need that voice as a player. Sometimes you need that voice when you're not performing, when you need a voice to wake you up. JT was always there because he sets the tempo, he sets the intensity. When you see your captain do that, you have to follow.
No doubt about it. Right, are we ready to welcome Mr. Chelsea onto the stage? Ladies and gentlemen, are we ready for this? Yeah! Right, before we do, and listen, this bloke does not need an introduction, but let's just remind ourselves of what a special, special player John Terry was. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 717 games for your football club. Only 2 men have played more trophies than you can shake a stick at. Chelsea captain, England captain. Please put your hands together for the man with the best nickname in all of football. It is the captain, leader, legend. It's Mr. John Terry. It's the 2 Johns, John Obi Mikel and John Terry, legends of Chelsea Football Club. Right, settle in, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a great night ahead. John, be honest with me, watching that, emotional?
Very. Firstly, I want to get on. You fucking should have told me that I had a man on the weekend, right? So the ball, I don't know if anyone was there at the game the weekend, the ball gets played to me and Ben Ayoun's kind of read I tried to chest pass it to the left back, and he's intercepted it, and he's fucking gone mad at me at half time, right? And I'm like, you've got to fucking tell me that it was at high time. So we were having this big argument in the Legends game the weekend. But yeah, back to the video. You know what? I get really, I'm quite an emotional person, and running out of the bridge the weekend meant the world to me. So I had the 2 girls behind me in the warm up, and as I've run out, obviously my banner's there, the supporters are there. I just had to have a moment. So I'd done a stretch on my own. My eyes filled up. It was like, this football club is everything to me. And you guys, I often say, players can perform at a level, but when you know you've got the support of you guys week in, week out, regardless of performances. And I had some bad ones. The following week, you guys are there singing my name, cheering my name. And it just means so much. So the relationship that we have, no one can ever break. And that's what I love about Chelsea and what we've got.
You can see the emotion there, isn't it? Yeah.
He is. You're emotional.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I'm an emotional guy.
I'm going to stitch you up. John.
You know, well, people think he's this tough guy and strong. He is, but he's also very, very tender. He's always very emotional as well. You know, he screams at you. He pushes you to do well. But then straight after the game, he comes and puts his arm around you and says, listen, we want to win. You know why I did that? I didn't do that because I have any grudges against you. It's just because we have to win. And,
I also told you twice you played well.
That's a good one.
More than twice. Listen, I was blessed in my position. I think the most underrated player on the pitch is your position. We had Maka, who was incredible. You in front of me. Kante at the back end of my career, which made me look very good. These guys do a lot of my work for me because I'm kind of organising in front. And listen, you're one of my best mates in football.
Yeah.
I think when certain people come to the football club, you click and you know you're friends. But he gets it. He gets Chelsea. You can see the passion he's got. And you're a proper friend of mine.
Cheers, mate.
Love that. They're proper friends, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to embarrass JT now because whilst John Obi was enjoying the sights and sounds of London on Saturday night, JT was back home in his house watching the rerun of the game. Is that right?
Yeah, I hate losing. Honestly, that done me the weekend, right? We put a really strong squad together to beat Liverpool. We lost at Anfield a few months back, 6 months ago. I couldn't play, Gus Hiddink couldn't play, Petr Cech. There was a few of us who couldn't play, and Ed and Diego and those guys were coming back for the first time. So we put a really strong side together because also, like, it's obviously international break. You guys are coming out paying good money to come and see our generation of players. Now, there's some older players in that the younger ones have to carry, but you want to also put on a good performance as well and show that there's still something in there from us old boys.
Yeah.
But I was fuming the week. Like, we had like an after party under the bridge. We've gone in and I said to my wife, we need to go here. So I've gone out. I've asked the guys to send me the video of the game, and I've gone home and just watched the whole game again, just fuming at loads of different passes, even bits like me. So, like, as captain, your role is going to see the ref before the game, toss of the coin. I would always, if it's a big team, I would always change ends if we was away. And when we was at the bridge, always stayed because that was our end. I preferred starting with the Matthew Harding end behind me. And I'm questioning myself Saturday night going, I should have changed ends.
It was your fault, mate.
Yeah, no, honestly, I promise you now, I'm looking at it going, right, even before the game's kicked off, I should have changed ends. I should have just flipped. And they're the kind of things that kind of never leave you. I hate losing at anything. And it just sticks with you. I mean, I wanted to come put in a good performance and win for you guys, and we didn't do it. So I'm really frustrated. We're trying to get another game locked in the diary with them. So
yeah, we have to get another one, mate.
Yeah,
we need to get another one. No, I thought it was a good performance, obviously. Yeah, but yeah, like you said, we hate, especially when you lose against Liverpool. There's few clubs that we hate losing against, and Liverpool are one of those as well. Arsenal, Tottenham.
You know what we need? Little confidence booster. We'll get Spurs in the fixture next time.
Touche. Listen, I want to talk about your friendship. I'm going to embarrass you both here. I'll start with you, JT. Your favourite Obi story? He's panicking already.
None that I could probably tell tonight, but you know what? There is one that just makes me laugh about our generation of playing. So when Jose first came in at Chelsea, we flew to LA as part of the pre-season, and we've got there. It's the first night, and he's gone, listen, no one goes out. We've got a good week of training. We've got a couple of games against LA Galaxy, and then at the end of it, if we have a good week, we can do a night out, everyone. And the first night, we're sitting in LA, we're jet lagged, we're up, we can't go to sleep. So I've messaged Lamps is wide awake. Ida the same as well. And we're there, so we go, right, we're the older ones, we can kind of go out. So we've sneaked out via the elevator down, just to a bar, nothing mad, but we just couldn't sleep. So I wanted to kind of walk the streets, have a couple of drinks. And we've done it. The first bar we walked in, who do we see? Obi. And a few of the other boys sitting there. But these are bits as team spirit, you kind of end up sitting there going, you know what, I love that about you straight away. You're part of the group, you're fit in here. And, you know, they're the bits that when you're going through tough times as well, that the team spirit and bits like that are bits to remember.
Right, I've got a picture I want to draw up. So you're listening to these two being best mates. Look at that. What the fuck have you done, Obi? Because JT...
But you know what? You can see Frank next to him as well. It's both of them. Frank is always next to him. He's always behind him. Frank never speaks, but he's always right behind JT, watching and trying to find out what's going on. I can't remember what's happened there. I probably let my man run past me, and he's going, what the fuck are you doing? Run with your man, probably, something like that.
What's the game? Can anyone remember the game?
I tell you, Spy's in, Neil Barrett's in tonight. You'll remember the game. That is, I tell you what, JT, I would not mess with you. You're a placid guy. I love spending time with you, but I would not mess with you when I see you like that. But that was all about, you've talked about it a lot, John, on the podcast, the demands that you place. It's got to be perfect at Chelsea Football Club. Near perfect isn't good enough.
Yeah, near perfect wasn't. We went through a time at Chelsea when obviously Kevin De Bruyne come in, Mo Salah come in, have gone on to be absolute world beaters in the game, like incredible players. They come in at a time where they wasn't ready for the group. Now they showed little bits of quality, but I have to say the level that we had at training was as hard as I've ever known training in our time. You know, people coming in that are really good experienced players just not understanding the level and falling by the wayside very quickly. It was very demanding. Jose was a big part of that when he first came in and drove those standards. And then also give us as players and me as captain responsibility to drive those standards in training and the freedom to do that as well. And, you know, it wasn't just myself. So I get a lot of credit because I had the armband, but we had Didier, we had Petr Cech, we had Lamps, who was my vice captain for a long time. Michael Ballack later in time, Michael Essien. These are big characters that were captains of their national side as well. So we have big characters in the group. So a lot of the time when you play the game, you go in the following day because you're busy, the schedule's busy, a Sunday session. So you've got the starting 11, they would do a recovery in the pool and have a massage. It's the standards of everyone else outside. So if Essien doesn't play, he would be unbelievable in driving those standards as a group. If I didn't play, I'd be the one driving those standards. If it was Scott Parker and people like that had come into the football club, just knew what it took to be English, what it meant to the players, to the supporters and all of that, and understood the rivalry in certain games as well was a big part of it. And we tried to drive that. And when I left the club, it was really important. We had Aspie, who was a fantastic captain in a different way to me, but led the group differently. And he understood the rivalries, all of those bits that Wisey had passed on to me. I'd left Gaz Cahill with that. Gaz left, and then Aspie picked that all up. They're the importance of now Reece is in charge of our group, and you go in, you'd want no one else but Reece in charge of this group. It's like he knows what it is to be Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because I remember when every time we train and we play like a five-a-side game, and he loses the game. Oh my God, five-a-side in training and he loses. Everybody knows you walking into the treatment room, the dressing room. Everybody start running away, giving him space, and he walks into the treatment room, and you can see the physios. They're like talking to themselves. Did he lose the game today? And they're like, yeah. So you give him space. He takes his recovery drink, chucks it in the bin, and throws his boots everywhere. Starts screaming. And if anybody laughs, any of the physios makes a joke or laughs or something, it's like, why the fuck are you laughing? Like he takes a swipe at all of them. We're like, JT, calm down. It's just a five-a-side game. No. Like he just wants to win. And in the dressing room, we have a dart board where we play darts. You know, we play darts after training. We'll put a little bit of bet, 20 quid.
I think you still owe me 20 quid.
And you'll get it.
And guess who walks away with the money? Him all the time. And he comes to us, he's like, thank you guys for contributing money for my kids. I'm going to buy them bikes. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. He just rubs it in your face. And the next day, I want to win. I want to beat him. But it's just the competitiveness there. And it is the standard when you talk about standard as well, the standard of the football club. And it's for us, it was just about winning, pushing each other to be better.
I think that's important as well to understand that, like a lot of the time, we would be so confident when we had that Mourinho time at the Bridge, and we would literally take our clothes to the dressing room, knowing that whoever we were playing, we were winning. We were going out for a meal after and a few beers.
True.
It was really arrogant looking back.
We knew
we used to walk in like past
Yeah.
the supporters with our gear to go out because we knew we was beating whoever we faced.
Yeah.
But again, it's those team spirit moments and stuff like that, the importance of it. But we were so good at that time, it was important for me that, if you lost a game on a Saturday, you walk into training Sunday morning, no, it's not okay to smile. No, it's not okay to laugh. And that goes for the canteen staff. Spy, you're here as well, Neil Barnett, who spent a lot of time at the football club as well. Like, it's not a time to... No kids in his there. It's not a time to fuck about. We have to really understand that. And the group and the staff around it really have to understand that and the importance of that. When we win, we all win. We all win together. The supporters win together. I didn't want the boys going out if we'd lost a game. I didn't want the supporters seeing us that it meant nothing to us. All of those bits. The amount of times I cancelled a dinner with my family after a game because I'm going to my wife, I can't be seen out. It's not right to be seen in the middle of Chelsea after getting beat. It just didn't feel right to me.
We see it now in social media. There's a five-a-side game on a Tuesday. And listen, the club are probably, and I'm not saying Chelsea, all clubs are guilty of it. They post up smiley faces at winning a five-a-side game in training. You lost on the Saturday.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
For goodness sake.
Yeah, that's the part I don't like. I think I talked about it in the pod once where, I can remember what game we lost. And then the next day, I saw the club post a picture of the players after training. They won a five-a-side game and they was smiling and laughing and jumping. I'm like, the fuck is going on here? That wouldn't happen during our own time. Even before the manager spoke, you already come to the player and say, listen, you can't be smiling and walking around and thinking, the game yesterday was fine to lose. No, it wasn't fine to lose. And that comes again from Mourinho. You remember when we lose a game, what happens? We don't see him for 2 days. He's sitting upstairs. He doesn't come down for training. He doesn't. It's like, I don't want to see those guys.
Yeah, he would walk past you in the corridor.
He'd walk past you,
him
wouldn't
at
say hi
breakfast,
to you.
and he'd just walk straight past you and wouldn't say hello to you or anything. It was.
You'd say morning gaffer.
Yeah, you'd say morning gaffer, and you get nothing back. But you felt it. You felt like you just felt the aura from him that it just wasn't acceptable. Now we don't want to sit here as those older players of going, back in our day we never done that. Very quickly, you have to move on as a group as well. And I think we understood that really well as well. So even though we was quite brutal in that side of it, if we had a Champions League game 2 or 3 days later, you understand that you have to have a quick meeting amongst the boys before you get out on the pitch and go, listen, we were poor the weekend. Yeah. We've got a big game on Tuesday night at the Bridge. We need to go again. That needs to be forgotten and parked until we can reflect and look back on it. Now, that might be international break. That might be 2 weeks' time. But we can't forget that. We'll come back to it, but not now. And I think the importance of that within the group of managers we had knew and understood the importance of it. So there are times that we lost and we was in training. You had to then pick the other group up. And it's part of the older ones, which often we were. You'd have to pick the group up a little bit and maybe get a little buzz, whether that's in a circle or a small-sided game. But generations have changed. It's softened slightly. That's where we're at, and I think managers and football clubs have to deal with that now. It was very different when we played.
The Force in Words, the bet on winning with BetWinner, your ultimate partner for smart bets. Join the winning team with BetWinner.
I want to ask, because you did mention Mo Salah and Kevin De Bruyne. Amazing to think those two players passed through Chelsea Football Club. I think sometimes we forget that those two were on the books of Chelsea. Question for the both of you. And I'm asking you to dig deep here. The player that in the first training session has made the biggest impression on you both, where you've just went, wow. And conversely, the player that you've looked in that first training session and went, what the heck are we doing signing him?
I'll let Obi lead on this one.
Who's it? Right, let's start with the best player. Who's the player that walked in and you both went?
Two players for me stand out. Petr Cech was incredible.
Really?
Honestly, when he first come in, like Lamps prided himself on doing shooting, scoring in training. Nobody could score past Big Pete in small-sided games, shooting after training. It was incredible to watch. Now what happens is when you bring people like Big Pete into the football club, and his standards are, I've finished training, I've got a game 2 days' time. Normally the main keeper goes in, you bring a young keeper in, and everyone smashes balls at him and he dives here and everywhere. Pete was like, no, I'm in, and you're not going to beat me. And now Lampsey's standard goes up, Didier goes up, Big Pete's goes up, and you keep pushing each other day after day after day after day. So he was, and still is, by the way, he can still play. The weekend, he was still fantastic. So Big Pete, and also Hazard. The first training session after that, he was terrible. But he turned up on a Saturday, so it was okay.
No, for me, I definitely say I think Hazard probably, but I think another player that I probably put in that category, Deco when he came into the football club. For me, Deco, just the way he, the first touch, the way he controlled the ball, the passing, the awareness that he had, Deco was so slow, but he always finds space. You always think, how does he always find space? He was so smart. The first touch, the control, the ability of knowing where everybody is. And it was just incredible to watch him. But of course, Hazard as well. And the player that I thought, what the fuck is he doing here? I'll probably go with Aspie. I think the first few months. Yeah. No. Aspilicueta. No, I'll say it. Hold on a minute. Yeah, I'll tell you that. Aspilicueta, when he joined the first couple of weeks, we were thinking, what the fuck is going on here?
Don't bring me into this. Don't bring me into this. Aspie would have been up there with Big Pete for me.
Hold on, I'm not done yet. That's what I'm saying. But credit to the guy. He's gone on to just improve and got better.
Well recovered.
Season after season. Honestly, and he became like, incredible, one of the best captains as well. I know you are the best captain that we ever had, but I think Aspilicueta is there right behind you.
I just want to make this very clear. Aspie, that's got nothing to do with me. That's Obi's words, not mine. You would have been just under Petr Cech and Hazard for me.
Love it. Too diplomatic. I tell you what, I will mention one player, because it was Florent Malouda on the podcast that said this. Tal Ben Haim. He was talking about the fact, not that he was rubbish or anything like that. He was talking about the fact you had a word with him after the first training session because he was just smashing Didier. And it was like, Tal, you've got to calm down here. He's our main man. He needs to be fit on a Saturday afternoon.
To be fair, the only thing we told him to pull his shorts down a little bit. He used to wear his shorts up here, Tal. Does anyone remember? But Obi, do you remember? So Tal was a funny guy, right? He come in. I think he knew he got very lucky with his move to Chelsea.
Exactly.
He come in asking for the 26 shirt as well, by the way. So me and Tal are good friends, right? We still speak today. He come in asking for the 26 shirt because he was 26 at Bolton. And so we told him where to go with that one straight away. But then do you remember the argument he had with Avram? Him and Avram Grant were at each other's throats every single day. They were they obviously knew each other.
Yeah.
They're speaking their own language and they were at each other constantly. And then Avram threw him out of training, said you can't train with the group. Like, just banished him from the training ground. You're not allowed in when the first team are here.
Yeah.
So we got everyone together and I was like, listen, it's a big year for us. Everyone just calm down. Like this, it's been quite important what's been going on around the football club. Everyone calm down. The boys want you involved in the group. Don't be a dickhead. Don't keep arguing with the manager. If you are, then you can go. But come in, train well with the group. We need you as part of the group, etc., etc. Avram let him back in. He trained well. But it's just moments like that just kind of funny stories.
Yeah, my funny
really
moment with him. You remember when he had a fight with Shevchenko? Oh, my God.
Tal Ben Haim.
Tal Ben Haim. He has a massive fight with Andrei Shevchenko in training. Obviously, we just talked about it. Him kicking everybody. So it was one of those five-a-side games. The five-a-side game was where it always happened, isn't it? So we're training and playing, and he kept tackling and kicking everybody. And then, of course, Sheva never speaks.
He was quiet, Sheva.
He's very quiet. And then Tal kept going at it. I keep kicking. And then just Sheva absolutely lost it. So he went the last one, Pwah! And then Sheva just stood up and he went, boom. And they both started punching each other, and we all jumped in. And it was crazy. So that's my funny moment with Tal. But I think when he looks back at it, he probably thought, he's probably lucky.
Sheva was a weird one because when again, anyone that listens to the podcast will know I'm not a Chelsea fan. Apologise for that. I know, it's fine. It's fine. I kind of have a closet one now, but I'm not. But Sheva, when you signed Sheva for the football club, I panicked because I loved him. He was one of the best number 9s. Okay, he wore number 7, but as a striker, it didn't work out for him. Why? Is it simply because of the main man? The king of Africa?
Yeah, I think, listen, when you joined the football club then as a striker, obviously Didier was the main man back then. And if you come in as a striker, you will be second because, any big game, Didier has to be the guy. He was our guy. He's the main man. But of course, Sheva. And I think one thing you need to talk about Sheva as well, I think joining the football club was towards the later part of his career. I think it was 29, 30, 31, something like that. So for him, it was towards the later part of his career. If he's joined the football club at his prime, then that would have been a different conversation. But I think Roman liked him. Roman wanted him at the football club. And then, Roman has the money to buy anyone, and he brought him to the football club.
Absolutely.
And Roman used to ask us, I don't know if he asked you the question, but playing against Sheva at the time, Sheva was renowned as one of the best players in Europe, and he was, by the way, at AC Milan. Eto'o as well was incredible at Barcelona. Aguero was another one we was in for as well at Atletico, not as big as the other two in terms of presence, but was on the way up. And Roman would often kind of get the defenders or get the senior players in and go, what are they like to play against? And you kind of give your verdict of, all three of them. You're going, oh my God, if we get one of these, we're going to, along with Didier, you're now talking 25, 30 goals each per season. It's pretty much guaranteeing you the league. So it's, Sheva coming, he didn't hit it off straight away. And it's difficult to come in. When Didier's the main man, like no one was shifting Didier out. I don't care who comes in at that time. Didier was immense. He was such a big part of our dressing room as well. Like in terms of the leadership group, he would keep all the African boys just in their place where they need to be. If ever they stepped out of line, Didier would step in and make sure.
Yeah, he's the king of Africa, isn't he? Yeah, he looked after everybody.
Yeah, he did.
From Africa,
Do you remember him like before games? So before like, not big games, but bigger games, Didier would often kind of walk about. Now, Didier was ripped, like pecs, abs, a lot. Didier would often walk about in his shorts, his boots, ready to go, but with his top off. But he'd have oil all over him. He'd look $1 million. He'd just look incredible. But he'd walk around like just pumping his chest and giving these big kind of speeches and 2 or 3 word kind of answers. It was really powerful watching him. Like when you're younger, you're kind of in that mode and you're doing your thing as well. And everyone had their own little routines before the game.
Yeah.
And this was Didier's one to get him going and stuff. So he'd go round and give you a little dig and come on, we need to go today and little bits like that. But it was his way of getting himself going and kind of walking around. He used to do these jumps and stuff. But it was really inspiring to watch him going, we're on today, and the big man's right up for this as well.
Everybody did have their own rituals. Yeah, I remember seeing him do that. He kept going. What was your ritual? I remember his ritual. So this guy here is, we walk in the dressing room before the game, and then you can see we know he doesn't like touching the ball just before we go out. So the ball doesn't touch his feet. So sometimes in the dressing room, when we go in, we've got time, we're playing music, we're walking about, some players take the ball and they start playing keep you up and stuff. He will never let the ball touch him before he walks off the pitch. So what we do sometimes, we just slowly roll the ball and don't do that. So he jumps up and he will not touch the ball. Why was that?
I don't know. I just didn't touch the ball for many years and we was winning. We was on that run with Jose and it was like, right, I can't touch the ball. And it was, if I was there in my shorts and my socks and the ball touched me, I need to put my tracksuit back on and then put my shorts for the game and socks back on like I've now I've not touched the ball before the game. It was really weird. I was big on superstitions like that, but idiots like this, literally like bouncing the ball, Hazard. You can imagine people like Diego like bouncing the ball to me. And I had another one as well, like I hate red, right? We're blue. I hate red, so... Sorry, Chris. But light switches are red all around the training ground, hotels. So when we're walking out of hotels, I would go down the corridor, walk into the lift, and I'd go flick, flick, flick. But there's thousands in hotels. But just in my mind, I need to get out of the hotel and on the bus, knowing that these are all.
So what you're telling us, JT, you're switching everyone's water heaters off. Everyone's having a fucking cold shower.
It come from my dad years ago, saving electricity and saving money. And no, but I just hate seeing red. And at the training ground, I asked, can we make it white or can we make this red blue? I just hated it. We shouldn't be associated with red. And it's just something that when you're winning, it's another thing to add on to your list of they're the superstitions and rituals you do. And the amount of times I'm walking and I get in the lift and I can hear giggling in the corridor, pop my head out, and Diego's there going, flick, 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 flick. So now I have to get out the elevator and go back down the corridor. And I'm like, no, Diego, I'm not. Listen, it's game day. Monday to Friday, I'm up for a laugh. But today, don't mess about. And he's flick, flick, flick. He just doesn't care. But
it's crazy, though, because sometimes when we're in the hotel, these are the jokes we used to do, obviously. You don't want to be get stuck in the lift with Diego. Oh my God, he gets stuck in the lift with Diego. You know, he presses the lift, closes, and then he starts fucking jumping. And everyone's like, what the fuck are you doing? Because the lift is going to get stuck. We're going to get stuck here. He doesn't care. He's like, whoa. He starts jumping and bouncing. It's like, and everybody's like, oh my God, this guy is crazy. So what we do, when you see Diego in the lift, if it's just him, you just walk and just wait for another lift. You don't go in.
But that's the beauty of it. There are so many different personalities, the idiosyncrasies that we all have. And we've talked a lot on the podcast. He gets mentioned all the time. Eden Hazard, I think we all agree. You've said it. JT, you've said it. One of the most, if not the most talented player you played against. But you and I shared a story last week which blew my mind that I don't think a lot of fans will be aware. Because, John, you've said on the podcast, the laziest trainer you're ever going to likely to see, right?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. 100%.
But you boys are to blame for it. Tell us more, JT.
Well, firstly...
Really? You're going to blame us for it?
Wait.
No, wait. I think Lamps is our best ever player for me. And I think longevity, goals, season after season after season, Lamps is by far the best for me. In terms of pure ability, Hazard goes top of that. Now, there's special players that we've had. Zola at the back end of his career that would be up there with Hazard as well. But when you get players like this,
Gianfranco.
when you get players like this in your football club, you know they're special players. And we just spoke about the standards that we had as a group and stuff like that. Eden didn't fall into that at all. Wasn't up for that. Didn't train well. Didn't really care Monday to Friday. But Saturday, Jesus Christ, he could win you a football match. And you know what? Give him the ball and he would go and do it. So what you have to do is you have to get the group together. So as a group, we have to work a little bit harder. So Eden's not going to run back. So Obi being in holding midfield. Obi, you need to cover Ash a little bit on the left side. You need to cover that left side a little bit more. So when we win the ball, we can turn it over and give it to Eden where he wants it and then gets us up the football pitch. So as a collective, as a group, we're going, we know he's not on it Monday to Friday. You don't want him in your five-a-side team at all because you're losing. You're a man down. But Saturday, we'll keep him as fresh as possible. And everyone knows we have to work a little bit harder because this man is so good. And as a group, every single player brought into that. Because he wasn't tracking back, never tracked back.
No. He did that. He did that as well on Saturday. He told me, he said, you know I'm not going to run back. He said, you know I'm not going to run back. So just pass me the ball. I said, fuck off.
But that's great for you guys to know you had a special talent and say, we have got to accept Monday to Friday, he ain't going to be at it.
Yeah.
We'll do the extra work because he is that special on Saturday.
Yeah. Well, even little bits, like we had the standards and stuff like that. But as a group, it was like Jose was on him.
Yeah.
Even in tactical sessions. I've told the story before about we playing West Ham the day before. And Eden's going, why are we spending 20 minutes? Who we even play? He didn't even know we were playing West Ham tomorrow. And he's like, just give me the ball and I'll score 2 goals, we'll win 2-0. Jose took him out the team and was like, you're not playing. Then the next day put him in. He actually scored the following day. But they're the bits. He was like, why are we worried about West Ham? And that was Mourinho, like detail. He was so on it with every single team. There wasn't one team that he ever went, you know what, we're going to go and beat these and stuff like that and take it for granted. But Eden was so free-spirited. Diego the same as well. That's why these boys are special players.
I saw one of your quotes the other day. When you talked about training with Didier Drogba, obviously, how that made it so much easier for you come the weekend. Is that how you saw when you come up against the other strikers that you're already, obviously, Didier Drogba, you've worked with Didier, you've trained with him throughout the week, and you know there's nobody else that's going to bully you, there's nobody else that's going to, that you're going to be scared of. So other strikers, it just becomes so easy for you.
Yeah, and also, I grew up in a generation where there was strikers at every single team you played against. You play against Bolton away, Kevin Davis. You play against Newcastle away, Bellamy, the level of Premier League strikers back then were incredible. So there's no disrespect to them because there were some world-class, and I think Thierry Henry is the best of my generation in the Premier League. But playing against Didier day in, day out was brutal. But it made me a better player. And I said about Big P coming in and these guys going, you come in and you have to be on it. If you're not on it, we've got an owner that's prepared to go and sign someone for 50, 100 million pounds. You'll be out very quickly. A manager that was ruthless as well in Jose, you would have been out the side and someone else would have come in. You have to raise those standards year after year. And I think people forget that as well, that we was a football club signing 2 or 3 marquee players every single year.
Season, yeah.
Defenders, there was defenders coming in left, right and centre. I felt that. I felt the pressure as Chelsea captain, but it made me raise my game. You have to lift your game, otherwise you're quickly out the side. It's really simple.
Right, I've got another picture that I want to pull up. This is you and your best mate, John Obi. There's the man that loved you more than he loved, I think, his own kids. Who's Hiddink?
That's my football dad.
That's your football dad.
My football dad.
That's a great picture. He's just set you off. Look at you. You're off running whatever he sent you.
Yeah.
I look at Gus, and I don't know if the Chelsea fans agree with me on this. Looking again, I'm looking in from the outside. Why on earth did he not get the job long term? Because I'll say this, I can say this. I actually liked you guys when he was in charge. I did. I thought you played a better brand of football. I liked him. Why was he only a couple of caretakers?
Not sure. I couldn't actually answer that because the boys absolutely loved him. He was brilliant. In terms of being intense with previous managers and all of that, and you felt the pressure playing at the top. He come in, he just give us a little bit of freedom actually. Like training was really relaxed. It was still intense, but it was relaxed. He was involved in it. Also, I think when you come in as an interim manager, you come in halfway through the season, the kind of hard work's done, the pre-season's done, the long training sessions, you're actually in the thick of it. You're playing 3 games a week, so you're play Saturday, recover Sunday, Monday, play Tuesday, recover Wednesday, Thursday, train Friday, play Saturday. There's not much training you can do, so it is pretty much boxes, small-sided games, boxes, possessions, small-sided games, which is all fun. If you speak to any footballer, what do you want to do? Boxes, possessions, small-sided games. What do you not want to do? Pre-season, running, all of that rubbish, the tactical side of it. And I think he fitted into this really well. Now, I can't speak of him as a pre-season manager and a manager throughout, but the boys absolutely loved him. He adored you. I think you played every minute of every game.
I did. Nah, it's brilliant. Obviously, JT just said it there. He just comes in whenever we having a good season. We up and down. And of course, the helicopter lands and the manager's gone. We know exactly who's coming in.
You're obsessed with that helicopter, aren't you? Every podcast he mentions that helicopter at the training.
But he does, doesn't he? Like, once it lands, we know the manager's gone. And that's exactly what happened. Because Roman never comes in that much.
Yeah.
We know that when he comes in, there's something is wrong.
Yeah.
I remember one of the meetings we had, obviously, we're having a really, really bad season. And he comes in and we had a meeting. And of course, his English is not that great. But Eugene, the interpreter is sitting there and we're all having a meeting. And then he starts, he starts calmly, he starts speaking calmly. And then when the voice gets deeper and stronger and he starts screaming. And then the interpreters will start screaming and you're thinking, what the fuck is going on here? And then he said to us, listen, you guys, you think you've got your contract, you sorted, everything is sorted. Don't worry about that. I can get rid of you anytime I want. I can buy whoever I want because I have the money to buy whoever I want. And then I had Nicolas Anelka next to me. He was like, don't worry, give me the money, I'll go. Obviously, he didn't say it loud, but he said it. Give me the money, I'll go. And it's just crazy. But yeah, Gus was fantastic.
And Roman as well. You've touched on him. Still a bit of, I guess, a veil of kind of, he's an enigma, right? We think we know what Roman was like, but we don't. Your relationship with him, JT, did you have a great relationship with him?
Incredible.
Yeah, this guy used to get the yachts. He used to borrow the yachts to go on holidays.
Only for the skipper.
Only him, yeah. Only the skipper.
Only for me and Lamps. Only happened one season. Though.
Oh, whatever.
The Force in Words. The Bet on Winning with BetWinner. Your ultimate partner for smart bets. Join the winning team with BetWinner.
Yeah, I think everyone had a really good relationship with him. I have to say, one of the nicest person you can ever meet in your life. In terms of giving us the best foundation, when he first walked into Harlem, so anyone who's been a fan for many years would know the old training ground Harlem was an absolute shithole. And he come in, he was like, no, we're not training here. And very shortly after that, we brought Cobham and he turned it into what it is today, giving us opportunities like that to perform on the best pitches, the best facilities, the best staff, improvements on the stadium, all of that. He was invested in you guys as well. The amount of conversations he would come to us and go, we're paying for the travel, for the supporters to travel to Bolton this weekend because it's after a Champions League game, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
That happened quite a bit under Roman. Correct me if I'm wrong. But he was invested in that. That wasn't someone telling him that. He wanted to know, it's Tuesday night away. How are the fans getting back from here and all of this? He was invested in that. So one of the nicest people you could ever meet in your life. I think it's disgusting what's happened to him. I really do. I think as a UK government, we should be embarrassed by our actions towards him. What he done during lockdown and what he done for the NHS was sensational. Opened up Stamford Bridge to all the nurses and give people homes during that difficult time. He was just a lovely, lovely man who loved our football club and thankfully turned away from one other football club and made the right decision and come west.
Yeah, no, you're right. Roman was the guy, he cared about not just the players, the fans as well. I remember the sad time. You remember when my dad got kidnapped as well. I remember getting a phone call from him saying, he just cared, spoke to me. It's like, Mikel, what do you need? Do you need anything? How do you think you're going to be able to get your dad back? I said, I don't know. I haven't spoken to the kidnappers yet. He's like, okay, listen, can you, with your permission, just give me 24 hours and I will go and I will bring your dad back home. And I'm thinking, fucking hell, Roman is in fucking Nigeria. You don't know where he is. How the fuck are you gonna get him back? He's like, no, don't worry, I will get him back. So that is the gangster shit that he can pull. So it's just that standard, of how he loved the players, his players, and the football club. So, I mean, he's built who we are today is because of Roman. We are Chelsea Football Club. We've won so many trophies. We are one of the biggest club in the world now, and it's all down to Roman Abramovich.
And
I don't think there's any podcast that have sworn as much as we've done.
no, it's
today.
fine.
There's a swear box. Get a swear box.
We will. I'd be on holiday. I'm Scottish and make a fortune from it. The other thing about him, very quickly, he could spot a player. You've said this, JT. Roman came to you saying there's a couple of kids out of Brazil that I like. He knew a footballer when he saw one.
Yeah, was actually on his yacht, actually, when he told me.
I told you.
So at the end of the first season, 04-05, he give me his yacht for a week in the south of France and Lamps a week as captain and vice captain as a little thank you, which the players were not happy about, by the way.
It's every season.
But we were doing some business. And he invited me over to his bigger yacht. He had He had a massive yacht. So get the violins out.
It's not even the small one, it's the big one.
So we've gone over for dinner, me and my family have gone over for dinner on his yacht. And it's unbelievable. And I'm not even joking, at the back of his yacht, there's a screen bigger than this. It's come down, we're having dinner, and there's a game on in Brazil. It's like 2:00 in the morning. There's a game in Brazil, and he was like, this kid's a really good player. I'm going, who is it? Where is it?
Kid?
He's in Brazil. He knew everyone. It was mind-blowing. But he obviously had people around him kind of directing to this and stuff. But he loved football. He loved watching football. So I'm there at like 2:00 in the morning watching some game. And it's like, I'm ready to go back. But he's watching this game and this kid. And I'm like, he was actually really good. I can't even remember who it was. But it was I can't remember who it was. But it might have been R9. I don't know. No, but he was so invested. He loved it. He loved football. He loved spotting younger talent. He loved being around our kids in our academy. Every time he come down to the training ground, he'd make a point of going over and watching the under 9s, under 10s, bits like that. Like you see the pictures of him, Tammy Abraham, Reece James when they were kids. Like that's what it's about. You don't see owners of football clubs doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think there's only one man, JT, that you loved more than Roman Abramovich at your time at Chelsea. It's that man.
Where's that swear box? Where's the swear box?
That picture says more than 1,000 words. Look at you behind there. Can you spot you?
Just about fit his face on there. Jesus Christ.
It's
And look at his cheeky smile. He's like, I'll go him on the bench.
he never fit, did he? No, listen, hey, I've got to give the guy some respect. You won a Europa League with him. But he was never Chelsea Football Club manager. Never.
But yeah, it was a bizarre one. But again, the one time you can probably say, why did he do it, which was the question there, we still went and won something. So it's like Roman had his way of doing things and, he made a lot of big calls and he always made those big calls when he needed to. And I think a lot of owners wouldn't have made that decision. He made it against a lot of Chelsea fans, Chelsea players at the time. I'm not saying it worked because it didn't for me, but as a football club, it just goes to show how strong our group was as players as well. So obviously we had Avram and managers like that after the great managers of Mourinho, Conte, Ancelotti. These guys where they're in control, they're running things. When other guys come in, Rafa, Avram, the boys do the majority of the work. It's player-led a lot.
Why didn't you two see eye to eye?
How long we got? You know what? I was injured when he first come in. We just didn't get on. Like the first meeting, so as managers, when you first arrive at a football club, you the players are there like you guys are now. And he's addressing the players. And at Liverpool, we do this and we done this and this is how we done things and blah, blah. And I'm sitting there going, well, exactly. That's the question I asked. But it's like, and I'm sitting there in the meeting going, Liverpool won fuck all. We've been dominating Premier Leagues. But it was like, for me, we'd been dominating Premier Leagues, FA Cups, Champions League later stages. The last thing I want to hear about is Liverpool. Like Obi said, we had a big rivalry as well. So I was like, Gaffer, we don't speak about Liverpool. And by the way, we're the ones dominating the last 5-6 years. And okay, hence why you're here is the reason why, we need to get going again. But don't want to hear Liverpool. And from that moment, it was just, we just didn't get on at all. And it just erupted pretty much after the Man City game. Do you remember he kind of left me out. I think it was quarter-final of the FA Cup. You have to be careful now because the guy's pulling people up, and Carell on the podcast, HMRC. But he's a Chelsea fan, so look after me if I'm slightly out. But I think it was a quarter-final of the FA Cup away to Man City. We lost 2-1. And he come in the dressing room after and addressed the players and was like, boys, it don't matter. We go again next week and, we can now focus on the league. And now he's left me out. I'm sitting next to you at the time over here. And I've got you, Gaz Cahill next to me. And I've got up and I'm going, fucking don't matter. It's a quarterfinal of the fucking FA Cup. Of course it matters. Fucking don't come in here after the game and tell the players it doesn't matter. Yeah. And now I'm kind of walking towards him. He's walking towards me. Obi's in between me, pulling me. You didn't really get on with him. So as Obi's pulling me back, Obi was like, no, go on. Go on.
Smash him.
But listen, I was, like Obi said, right, on the pitch, I was, what you see is what you get. Well, my heart on my sleeve. Behind the scenes, I knew that I had a role to play, and I'm representing you guys in that dressing room when he's there. When the great managers come in, Mourinho, I don't need to do my job. Those guys do it for you because they're the ones in charge. When stuff like this happens, people need to understand, no, this is our football club, my football club. I've been here a very long time, and this is what it's about. And I think I was in my right to say that. We didn't get on. I played a lot of games that year. I come on before the Europa League final. I actually done my ankle before that. I played Fulham away. I scored 2 goals. I think I scored 5 goals in 7 games in the games that I'd actually played. So I was still fit. And for me, it's about going, okay, I'm not playing, but going in Monday to Friday, it's now showing the group that because I'm captain doesn't mean to say I couldn't, toss training off or not come in and train well. Everything about me was everything every single day, like Obi said. And I think when you're a Chelsea player, Chelsea captain, when you walk in that building, you get that very quickly. And if you don't get it, you fall by the wayside, like I said. So that was me as a player, as a person. And I'd like to think I passed that on to the generations beyond me.
Yeah, I think Rafa was one manager that, it's just off, didn't work out at all. I mean, never got on with any player. During the games, the day before game or before game, we have a meeting. The team sheet is there. Whoever is starting is there. Rafa was one manager never put the starting 11 in the hotel when we have a meeting. He says, "Nope, I'm not showing you who's playing. I'm not putting up the 11 that's starting. I'm going to do that in the dressing room, in the stadium." You remember? Because he never wants a confrontation. He never wants a confrontation. Yeah. So he'd rather do it in the stadium whereby you're not going to come to him and say, why the fuck am I not playing?
Yeah.
It's too
you know
late,
what I mean?
Yeah.
So he does that at the last minute whereby you have nothing to say. And it's just incredible because as players, we want to know if we're playing or not. When we have a meeting, at the hotel just before we go to the stadium. But Rafa was the only manager that never puts the starting 11. He's like, no. I put it in the stadium, in the last minute just before we walk out. So for me, I just found that very, very strange. I didn't get on with him. He never wants a confrontation with anybody. He never wants you coming in this, room, knocking on this and asking why you're not playing. Sometimes you need that kind of conversation with your manager. Why am I not playing? What do you need me to do better as a player? Where do I need to improve? But Rafa never wants a confrontation with any player. I just found that really, really odd. And that's why I didn't get on with him. I wish you smashed him that day, in the dressing room.
If you'd let go, I might have.
In terms of the best communicator that you had as a manager, I know you talk a lot about Jose. Is it between Jose and Carlo? Were they the 2 best boys that you played under?
Yeah, the 2 best managers for me, Conte falls just below that. I was at the back end of my career. Jose being Jose because he was just unbelievable at everything. From the moment he walked in, the mindset changed at that football club. It was very clear from day one. In terms of man management and the style of managers, Ancelotti was a little bit softer, whereas Mourinho was, this is how we're doing it. You guys are following or you're not following. If you don't follow, you're not in. Whereas when Carlo first come in, and this is what's great about Carlo, and also managing as well, so there's just goes to show there's different ways to manage. So when Carlo first come in, he sat the group down. So we had like the older players like myself, Pete, Lamps and Didier, sat with us, had a coffee. In Italy, we often train twice a day. We often train in the afternoon. And we were like, oh no, we don't train twice a day. And we don't train in the afternoon.
No.
We like to pick our kids up and we like to do normal stuff and all that. Okay, we'll train once a day. We'll train in the morning. This is what, and it was a 2-way thing, and it actually worked really well. Now we was a little bit older by then. That was 09, 10, 08, 09, 09, 10. So we was a little bit older then. Maybe we needed what Jose give us early on of a leader, and then us follow. as we learned, we enjoyed that side of Carlo. Carlo had a mean side as well, didn't he? He was aggressive as well. And it also worked with Ray. Like, Ray was the best number 2 you could ever have. And the players absolutely loved him, just his manner. Listen, we all...
Yeah, one of the funny guys I've ever, I ever met. Just
It's like putting him in
loves
Obi's like
me,
a
yeah.
Nigerian Cockney. Hello, mate. How are you? It's like
any fucking danger you playing today?
he'd walk in, and Obi would walk in like that, and he'd go, "Are you all right, fella?" And Obi would go, "Yeah, I'm good." He'll go, "Well, inform your face then, fella." Like just absolute brilliant,
Yeah, I used to love
and
that,
priceless to have people again. Chelsea people that are around the club, Carlo come in and learned so much off of Ray. And Carlo was an unbelievable manager, an unbelievable man manager. He would come down the back of the bus and have a cigarette with lads after a game. Not the 2 on stage. Just I'm not going to name names, but it wasn't us 2. We'd have a glass of wine though, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
But I said this recently, like after games, you'd often play Saturday, you'd be in Sunday, and you'd do a video analysis of the game like this, and you go in, all the players would sit there and you'd go through it, the manager would talk through certain clips. Carlo would often come down the back of the bus with Ray with a bottle of wine, and the game would be on. So you're driving back from Everton, from Manchester, you've got a long drive, or Aston Villa, wherever that may be, the game's on, down they come with a bottle of wine, cigarette if they want, and you'd be sitting there and they'd pour you a little glass of red, and you should have maybe been over there, and maybe you could have stopped that. And it was such a good way of doing it, but we've done it in a really relaxed environment, like we're talking as friends now. It wasn't like you're the manager and there were times when he did, but he had a really good manner of how he dealt with things, and I think the players really enjoyed that. And I think we showed our free-flowing football under Carlo.
Never have sacked him.
No, you should have. But Ray Wilkins, may so rest in perfect peace. I mean, what a man, what a guy. Absolutely love Ray. I have a funny story about him. You know how he loves his red wine, him and Carlo Ancelotti. I remember one game we finished a game, obviously, when we win a game, and they both sit in the coach's room, and I think they were both at it. They started drinking, and then Roman walked in, and Ray was already gone. Oh my God. And then he came and he started talking to Roman like, "Hey, how are you?" And when Roman walks in, you give him space. Unless he speaks to you, you speak to him. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then Ray, because he was so out of it, he was so drunk, he's like, "Hey, how are you?" Blah, blah, blah. He was touching Roman, and then Roman was like, "What's going on here? Like, what's happening?" And I think the next day he was gone. Absolutely lost his job. Remember, he lost his job, and then after that as well, Carlo lost his job. So for me, what an amazing guy, brilliant guy.
Amazing guy.
The Force in Words. The Bet on Winning with BetWinner. Your ultimate partner for smart bets. Join the winning team with BetWinner.
Right, questions that you guys have sent in. I'm going to get to them in a second, but I've got the last picture for you. I want to stick this up. There we go. 2012. So,
what are you laughing at?
There's a lot going on with this picture.
He knows what comes after that.
Malouda's just wiping the mud off my knees from all the slide tackles in the game.
I think there's a shimp out there. Can you see it?
Listen, a lot's been said about this. Rival fans, JT, they take the piss out of this all the time. But there's a backstory to this. And the thing I love about you and this story, obviously you didn't play that night, but you've said it many, many times. Still the greatest night of your footballing career. And that says a lot about you.
Yeah, by far. A lot of people are baffled by this when I say this, but again, goes back to us, me, Chelsea, what Chelsea Football Club means to me. I know how much this competition meant to the football club, and to win our first one. Obviously, we go through the years now of 04-05, 05-06, 08 when I missed the penalty, 09-10, last minute, and then in 12, when we are an aging team, we've got suspensions, We got people out. We are the underdogs massively. We're playing at Bayern Munich Stadium. Everything was against us. And it just goes to show that the group we had to never, ever give up. There's a couple of, not that one, there's a group picture that just embodies Chelsea and tells you everything you need to know about that group we had at that time. Because a lot of us in that group had been through the ups and downs and the downs more than anything, because they are. Like, it's such a difficult competition to win. The teams in it are incredible. We faced the Barcelona side that I guarantee no other team across the competition could have lived with them how we lived with them throughout that. We give them a run for their money. What they done to Man United in that final in 09-10 was, I mean, they destroyed them. We battered them at the Bridge. And it was those bits. So when people say to me, what's your best night in a Chelsea shirt? It's that night, because I know what it meant to the footballers and to these supporters as well.
And there was shin pads in there.
Everything. I did a lot, yeah. Listen, if you're going to do it properly.
And obviously for you, John, I always love, that's one thing you get on the podcast. This man's got no filter. If you've listened to it, if you've watched it, sometimes he might annoy you. Sometimes, though, he'll always say it as he sees it. And I always give you great respect. And one of the things, John, that has really stayed with me throughout this podcast is one time you were very open and you said that was the night that you felt that you won the respect of everyone associated in the football club. That you were always striving for that. He didn't need that, but you've spoken about that. About that was the night.
No, yeah, definitely. I think for me, being at the football club for such a long time as well, and knowing that this is the trophy that we wanted to win. We've won so much. We've won the Premier League so many times. We've won the FA Cup 5-6 times. The Carling Cup, it used to be called back then. Now it's called the League Cup. And for us, that this trophy was the trophy that we wanted to win. The owner wanted to win the trophy. And like John said as well, an aging team, a team that we know he's about to leave the football club. Drogba, Petr Cech, Frank Lampard. And to know that we're about to lose the spine of the football club. This is everything we've went through for so many years and wanting to win this trophy. It would have been a disaster if we didn't win it and these guys were gone. I just felt like it was something that we've worked so hard for together, the spine of the team, knowing that we finally did it together. And to give Roman that one trophy that he absolutely deserved and wanted to win was absolutely brilliant. And for me to have my best performance, I say, for Chelsea Football Club was just special. It was just something pretty amazing and special because I could feel, you go into a football game, from the first minute, you're playing well. Things are going well for you. And I just thought I was on my game. I was on my game. I was breaking up plays. I was setting up attack. And knowing that this man as well is not on the pitch as well. It was a special night for me, and it's a night that we'll never forget. And this Champions League for me is my best moment of my football career, and it's a moment I will never forget. And to be able to share it, experience it, and celebrate with the Chelsea fans was just something pretty special as well. Yeah.
He was
right.
He was immense that night. There's about a minute, 10-second clip of you on YouTube. If you haven't seen it, go and have a look at it. It's incredible. He still didn't have one shot on goal in 12 years. But
hey, he tells us all that he's a proper number 10, JT. You've seen him in training. Could he have played number 10?
Absolutely not.
He's killed you there.
I'll just ask him one last question before we give the current team. What do you make of the current team? And what do you make of Enzo Maresca? You think he's the man to lead us to back to the glory days, winning trophies, Premier League, Champions League?
You know what? I think like all of us, when the change happened, new ownership, new managers come in, I was as skeptical as everyone else. And nobody likes change, right? Especially when you've had such good owners previously and you've been taking the top managers, et cetera, et cetera. So I was questioning it, I have to say, and I think in the last couple of years, what they've done, I think they've got a lot of it right, to be honest. Do I think we can go on and win Premier Leagues? That's the one concern for me at the minute. And I just think at the minute, I think we're a really good group of players. I really like the manager. I've seen him work. I'm not over with the first team. Obviously, I'm working in the academy, but I'm not with the first team a lot. But when I'm over with the boys, you get snippets. The boys really like him. Now, that's a big thing, firstly. I think he needs some experience in there. Some players that have won. And I spoke about earlier with... I love the group. Esteval and these guys, like, incredible. But just people like Thiago Silva, I'd love to see him still around the football club. For these boys to go, this is what elite looks like. This is what winning looks like.
What is the position? What is the positions that you think we need to strengthen in terms of strengthening to making the squad complete, then go on and to win those trophies?
Obes, I think all over the pitch. I think you look at the spine of our group, right? You go, we had Petr Cech, Courtois. When we was at our pomp, our very, very best, you talk about 2 goalkeepers pushing every single day. You need that competition. We spoke about it all night. Centre-backs, you need it. Top players.
I think we need
midfielders, strikers. Yeah. When you're the main guy, like Didier was the main guy. He knew he was the main guy. You bring in Shevchenko, you question yourself. You have to raise your game. And these are the bits for me. Now, I'm not saying we should be signing Isak. I'd love to see us in the race to be signing Isak. Okay, he joins Liverpool because Liverpool are above us at the moment. But in terms of top players who are scoring 25, 30 goals a year, we should be in for players like that. We're Chelsea, and it's like that finished article. And a little mix of the finished article with the current group we've got, I think could be a really, really good mix.
I don't disagree with that. Right, we've got questions from the floor. Got 15, 20 minutes. So let's get to these. This one is for JT. You've said before you're done with management, content with your Chelsea Academy role, but if one of the Premier League strugglers came to you tomorrow, what would you say? Would you be tempted? Oh, that's a good one.
What if Spurs come to me? I can't help it. I can't. I fucking hate Spurs. Now, you know what? I'm at the minute, I'm in my role in the academy. I'm 2 days a week in the academy working with the kids. So that's a mixture of training sessions. I'm around the boys. You might have seen a clip I put up on Instagram recently where I'm mic'd up. I'm training alongside some of the centre-halves and the boys. I'm involved in the sessions. I'm watching a lot of their games and we're doing clips after games and stuff. And their journey now from 16 to 21 is that part right in the middle of, like, a couple of times a week, they might go over the first team. As we're walking over having conversations when I was playing and when I went over to the first, like everything these boys are going through now, there's not going to be one thing that comes up that I've not been through or done. So I love my role. I love the part of playing, or the small part of playing their journey to break through to our first team. And I've just got a really good balance of life. So I'm playing golf 4 days a week as well, which is great. I love my golf. I'm spending time with my family, which is the biggest thing. Now, as a player, you don't get to do that. So I'm very lucky, and I'm kind of in control of myself at the moment.
What's the handicap at the minute, John?
4 at the minute.
No chance. No chance. Right, next question. Right, I'll tell you what, we'll put this one to you, John, Obi, but we'll maybe put it to both of you. Which 3 players would you sign for Chelsea to push us to the next level? My 3 were all available in the summer and we got none. That was Donnarumma, Mark Gay, and your best mate, John, Victor Osimhen. So, 3 players in world football right now.
Right now, geez. Obviously, Donnarumma for me was out there. He was available in the market. Why we didn't get him, I have absolutely no idea. I've said it so many times. I don't care, and I'll still say it. I just think that for me, Sanchez, I feel he's not the goalkeeper that will take us to the next level. I like him. I think he's good, but he's not a top goalkeeper that will take us to the next level. When we won the Premier League, obviously we have Petr Cech. You look at Man City when they were winning all those trophies, they have Ederson, Liverpool, Alisson, now David Raya for Arsenal. You need a top goalkeeper. So for me, Sanchez is not that guy. And of course, I think we need another centre back. I like Levi Colwill. I don't know what you make of him, but I like Levi Colwill. I think there's so much potential there. Will he become a top centre back? I don't know, but he has the potential to become a top centre back. I think John can say much about that, but we need another top centre back that can come in and partner with him with more experience, like you've just mentioned, like a Thiago Silva, a top centre back that can come in with experience and lead that defense. And of course, a striker, and I'm happy that we've gone João Pedro. Victor Osimhen was there. We didn't get him, of course. You all know what I did. I tried my best. I negotiated the contract, but we just couldn't get it over the line for some reason. I think both parties wanted to get the deal done. But I just think certain things, paperwork, we just couldn't get it over the line. And I was so devastated that it didn't happen. So for me, I think if we got Victor Osimhen, I think he will score us goals, he will get us goals, and I think he's that striker that will win you trophies. But João Pedro is doing well. Liam Delap as well, I think he's got a lot of potential. I think he will be good. Shame that he's injured right now. So I think we've done good business. But I'd like to see us go out in the January transfer window and strengthen the centre-back and the top goalkeeper.
I think as well, like you look at João Pedro, he wouldn't have been top of my list, but I think he's been great so far. Like he's had a really good start to his Chelsea career, and I think a lot of strikers come in and don't get off to the start that he's got off to. So I'm delighted for him. I think he's been really, really good. And also, I see him train. The boys tell me he's unbelievable in training as well. So I like the way he trains and his whole demeanour. He's scoring goals, which I love. I'd love to see Mark Guehi come back, obviously come through at our club. Do we have a buyback on him as well?
I think you did at one point.
We did have 35
but he's out of contract
now, isn't he? Yeah. Listen, he's available. Like, why wouldn't he come back?
I think it's a done deal. He's going to Liverpool.
Yeah, you say
I think
that,
it's a done deal, mate. Yeah.
Didn't go through.
You'll be at Real Madrid next summer after. Right, love it. Next question. Right, John Obi, here's one for you. You've been vocal about players switching allegiance to Nigeria late in their careers. Essentially, Nigeria not being second option. Looking back, jeepers, what a question this is. Would you change anything about your own journey choosing Nigeria over England?
England?
I guess you could have.
No.
You are from the East End of London.
Peaky Blinders.
That's Birmingham, but close enough.
No.
He's killed you there. We'll edit that out of the podcast. You'll be fine, John. In terms of that, though, because you have been very vocal about it.
Yes, I haven't. No, listen, I said what I said, and I still stand by it, because you have players who you think they can make the decision pretty quickly and represent, where their parents are from. But they choose to opt out and wait for maybe England call up or Germany call up or France or whatever. And they just wait. And, we speak to the parents, we speak to the family. We're like, okay, why did you come represent Nigeria? No. My son needs to wait because we're waiting for England to give us a call up, or France or Germany. And then when it doesn't happen, obviously, when you hit 30, your football career starts going down. And by the age of 28, 29, they haven't got a call up. And then now Nigerian FA, okay, now I'm ready to go and play for you. No, you're not. Fuck off. You know what I mean? Because we've waited. No, hold on. Because we've waited for you for so many years. We've called you, we've begged you, we've come. I've seen the FA fly from. They've taken planes. They've flown to England. They've come to Chelsea and they've spoke to a couple of players. It happened to Victor Moses. I told him, I said, listen, you have to think about your career, because if you wait for England, you might not get a call up. And Victor was very smart to make that switch pretty quickly. And then we got on to win the Nations Cup with him. So I hate when players wait. I made an example with Shola Amwebi. I remember when the FA were begging and calling Shola Amwebi. When he was partnering Alan Shearer at Newcastle, they were banging in goals week in, week out. And the FA was like, come play for Nigeria. I was like, no. I've got this great partnership with Alan Shearer. I'm going to wait. I think I'm going to get a call up. No.
Shola Amwebi.
Yes.
No chance.
No, exactly. So come play for Nigeria. He said no. And then he waited until he was 29, 30. And then he come and played for Nigeria I think we went to the World Cup, and he never played a game because he just wasn't the same. So I feel very angry when I see that, and I still stand with my decision. But for me, definitely Nigeria all day. Nigeria all day.
Right.
I like the passion, but I want to know what you really think.
But that's what I've said.
Right, next question. This one to JT. While you were playing, was there ever a signing for Chelsea that you dreaded joining the club? That's a great question. And how did it turn out? So did they sign a centre-half? You thought, shit, I'm out of a job here.
Alex, I think, when Alex first came in, didn't really know too much about Alex. And he comes in, he was a monster, wasn't he? Then the free kicks, he was scoring goals from set pieces. I then started practicing free kicks in training. And then after a few months, I was like, no, I'm okay. No, but he was probably the one really that come in. And David as well, a little bit. David was flamboyant when he was out
Was
there.
he bonkers, David Luiz?
Yeah. They are the Brazilians. They're off their head a little bit, but they're good, fun characters to have around the place. That they're a talented group of players that they obviously grow up playing the game very differently to the way we play it. Like before games, the English boys would be really focused and they'd be on the bus laughing, joking. It's just the way they are. They bring a really good vibe to the dressing room and the environment. But he was obviously a very good player when he was on it. He could switch off at times, but I think consistency with both of those players kind of let them down. We speak about the top players. The top players perform week in, week out, train week in, week out, and keep that level very high.
The Force in Words. The Bet on Winning with BetWinner, your ultimate partner for smart bets. Join the winning team with BetWinner.
For you, John, was there anyone that the club signed that you thought, right, my career is done?
Of course, N'Golo Kante. I left straight away. I was like, that's it, I'm done.
He was a different animal,
N'Golo,
wasn't he?
oh my God, it's a different animal. I mean, I was lucky I stayed a week. I would have been gone earlier. I stayed a week after seeing him in training, the way he was running and covering grounds and everything. The guy can run for 3 players. He can cover grounds for the whole team. It was just incredible. And what he achieved, winning the Premier League with Leicester. And when you talk to Leicester players, they'll tell you that without N'Golo Kante, they wouldn't win that Premier League. There's no chance. And then to come to Chelsea and repeat it and do the same, it's just incredible. I know we've named the role, the Makalele role, but N'Golo Kante is just for me, he's at a different level.
He was incredible. Great answer. Right, next one up for you, JT. Have Chelsea got a world-class centre-back at present? If not, who can be? Guess that links in with Levi Colwill. And if you could, which centre-back would you sign for the club today? So I guess Mark Gay, you mentioned Mark.
At the minute, no. Again, we're young throughout the whole group, so I think for those boys to be up there with the likes of Van Dijk and those boys, they're not at the moment. Could agree.
Another one.
Yeah, like Fick. Levi's obviously got to come back from his injury very strong. I think he has the potential to be loved him at Brighton. Don't think we've still seen the best of him yet at Chelsea. And obviously he's picked up the injury and stuff. So I think when Levi's back, he has a big role to fill at the football club. I'd like to see Gehi back. I think, again, bringing people back that understand the football club is big for me as well. And players that are kind of there and not kind of here as well. They've peaked and they're on that journey of the way up as well. So,
but they always say, never go back, mate. Never go back.
Who says that?
I don't know. It's the saying, never go back.
Never go back.
It doesn't work out sometimes.
He'd work at Chelsea.
Yeah, he would. Well, 100% he would, yeah.
I don't know. I never liked him when he was at the club, though.
He's a young boy.
He was 7 years of age. What do you expect?
Listen, no.
No, he's not good enough for the first team.
No. We did watch him at the academies, mate. I did watch him at the academies.
All right, under 10 he was.
Exactly, I did.
He does it right. Hopefully Mark Gay's not watching the podcast. Right, next one for you as well, JT. Talk to us about your goalkeeping cameo versus Reading in 2006. Injuries, of course, Petr Cech, Carlo Ancelotti. I read that you had your own goalkeeping gloves. Is that true?
Yeah, I did, yeah. I was always third choice. If anything happened, so in training, before training under Mourinho, we would always go out early as a group and the boys would take shots at me. And Jose would be like, he used to play in goal, Jose, so he loved it. And he was like, just don't get injured. Don't do your shoulder. But the boys would take shots at me and I used to love it. It used to be filthy before I started training. But I used to really enjoy playing in goal. So anytime, I got my own gloves made up. And then when it happened, I was like, I'm in, I've got my chance. Obviously, really bad what happened to Pete, and obviously was with him recently, which wasn't a nice kind of scenario. But Big Pete's gone off, Carlo's gone off, and I've come on, and the first thing that's happened is a long throw-in from the side at Reading. And I've just, as it's over there, the boy's about to take the throw-in. I'm like this to the boy, Didier, fucking help me out. Head this away. Head this as far as possible because I'm definitely not coming for this. And as it's coming, I've gone, away. Just shout away. It's just one of those moments. I think even when so the ball's there and I'm looking at the ref going, can I pick it up? Can I pick it up? The boy closes me down. And I've done the old school like volley, like the full volley, not like a half volley that the goalkeepers used to hit the floor and like hit a little. I've done like a full volley. It looks like a 1960 goalkeeper's kick. Terrible. But I didn't have much to do, which was great, but I did keep a clean sheet.
And again, he did keep a clean sheet. That deserves a round of applause. But again, taking ownership, JT, your team are in crisis. They're in a hole. And again, you step up, taking responsibility.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I was shitting myself. Right? I was petrified. And it's that bravado of like, I used to love going in goal and stuff. But then the responsibility of like free kicks and throw-ins, it was like, shit, I'm in it now. Like, what happens if one does go there and,
Kept a clean sheet.
Kept a clean sheet.
Right. Next one. What have we got? Final couple. This one for you, John Obi. Many fans call you one of Chelsea's most underrated players for your defensive solidity. Like you've written this, by the way. What advice would you give to young midfielders like Enzo Fernandez trying to balance attack and defence in the modern Premier League? So what advice would you give to young midfielders?
Listen, I think when you play the role we played, the position we played, I think when I joined the football club and I spoke to Claude Makalele, who was always playing that position, he said, listen, if you want to play this position, forget about the spotlight. You're not going to get the spotlight. Week in, week out, after game, the papers are going to come out with Frank Lampard, Didier Drogba, the guys who scored the goals. They will never talk about your impact in the team, in the squad. You will never get that. So forget about all that. There's not going to be any spotlight. So I kind of learned that pretty quickly. And for me, when my teammates and my managers understood what I did for the football club, for me, that was it. For me, that was enough. And I knew I wasn't going to get the credit maybe from the fans, because they want the excitement of a Hazard or Didier Drogba, people who score the goals. But when I finish my job and we keep a clean sheet, and I see the likes of JT, my captain, the managers come and say, "Listen, you were absolutely fantastic today. You were there. You were breaking up plays. You were setting up plays." For me, I go to bed feeling like I've done my job. So, to any young player, any kid that wants to play that position, just know that your importance in the team, your teammates value it, and your managers, they value it so much. Even if sometimes you don't get the credit, I'm sure some of the fans can see what you do. Just keep your head down and just keep working hard. That's all you have to do. And we worked as a team. That's why we were pretty successful. We won everything because we worked so hard for each other. You know what I mean? And I'm sure Enzo Fernandez knows exactly what to do. He's a World Cup winner. He's bags of experience. And he's doing really, really well now as well. He's not a number 6. He's arriving late at the box. He's scoring goals. He's creating chances. And it's nice to see him starting to play well now for the football club as well.
Love that. Great answer. Right, next one. There was a rumour, this one for UJT, of a John Terry tell-all Netflix series. Was there? It's a bit like the Beckhams. Was there ever any truth in it? And is that something that you and Tony would consider?
Depends how much, doesn't it? No, you know what? We've had a couple of offers from a couple of different companies.
You have me in it.
No, not really. Also, there's a lot of old ground that people want to talk about. Like for me, like I want to talk about my football career, and there's stuff that's gone on off the pitch that I don't want to kind of dive into, and give people an opportunity to come back and respond and stuff like that. So for me, it's like I'm prepared to do it, and I'm in the stage at the moment of, do I do something on my own where I'm in control of it, and I do the footage, have a team following me around and stuff. Like social media is going big now, isn't it? I do a lot of stuff, so I'm around the academy. There's enough footage and enough managers and ex-players that would kind of come on and speak for me as well. So taking them out of it completely and taking full control is probably the route I'm going to go down. If I do go down, it won't be with a big company, but they're interested.
Okay.
I'm not sure how good it'll be, but
I'd watch it.
We'll sell 100 at least.
I think this might be the last one. And I'll ask you this to both of you. What would you be doing if you weren't a footballer?
That's the best answer ever, isn't it, Crouches?
The best. The best. He probably would be as well. What would you boys be doing? What would you be doing, John?
I have no fucking idea. Probably, I don't know. God, probably play basketball.
Were you good at basketball?
Yeah, I was good at basketball when I was a kid. Yeah.
Okay.
I hope you was better at basketball than you was darts. Jesus Christ.
Not at darts, no.
You were terrible at darts.
Taking candy from a
No,
baby.
it was terrible.
You, JT, what would you have done?
I would have been involved in football in some capacity for sure. Like coaching kids or like a youth level or something like that. I think I would have gone down that route. I was just involved, like my dad played at a good level back in the day and stuff. I was around it too much not to be involved in it in one way or another. So I'd have been involved in football for sure.
Pleasure, mate. Brilliant. John, well done. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, John Terry and John Obi Mikel.